Let's now look at the large economy. If you are a large economy, like I said, you are able to influence prices. So we have a foreign export supply curve, which is upward sloping, whereas before it was horizontal. And so now, if we shift around the import demand, the price will change. Okay, so let's impose a tariff in this framework. Okay, so just as before, we're going to represent this imposition of a tariff as an upward shift in the supply curve. Okay, so now we have three prices to figure out, okay? to keep in mind. There is a price PW, which was the original price we were paying before the imposition of the tariff. Now we impose the tariff. We pay a price which is equal to P star plus T to get the price into our borders. But the price P star, so the price that we pay without the tariff, is lower than the world price that we had before. Okay? So the idea here is price of coffee is $100 per kilo. Europe imposes a tariff of 20%. The price doesn't go to $120 per kilo. It goes to $115 per kilo because the pre-tariff price has fallen. Right, so the idea is you're a large enough country, by imposing the tariff, you reduce world demand, hence you reduce world price. So the price that you pay is not the old price plus the tariff, it's a little less than that. Okay? Okay, so this is very important, and we'll see why in a second. But first of all, let's look at let's look at consumer surplus. Consumer surplus is usually the area between the demand curve and the price line. The price goes from PW to P star plus T. So consumer surplus falls by A plus D plus C plus D, just like before. What about producers? Same thing as before. Producer surplus used to be the area between PW and the supply curve. Now it's the area between P star plus T and the supply curve. So producer surplus increases by A, just like before. Okay. The only change that we see in this figure, by being a large country, is in the government revenues. Government revenues is the product between the tariff and the import quantity. And for every unit of import, we impose the tariff of 20 euros. So 20 euros times the number of units of imports is your tariff revenue. The imports, just as before, are B2 minus S2. Okay? Because it's the difference between the demand curve and the supply curve evaluated at the new price, P star plus T. What is the tariff? The tariff is not P star plus T minus PW, so the rectangle C as we've seen before. It's the segment between P star plus T and P star. So the government revenue is this area, C plus T, because the height of this rectangle is the tariff, T, P star plus T minus P star. And the base of this rectangle is B2 minus S2, the import quantity. There is a difference in welfare relative to what we saw for the small economy. Because in this case, we have that welfare is E minus B plus D. So this thing can be positive. Now, what does that mean? Why? Why is it that a tariff can be welfare enhancing for a large economy? The US imposes a tariff on Chinese goods. The price does not increase by the same amount of the tariff. So US consumers are not paying the full extent of the tariff as they were doing in the small economy case. Because in this case, Chinese firms are paying some of the tariff because they reduce the price. So they're making a lower profit. Okay? If we're a large economy and we impose a tariff, for small enough levels of the tariff, welfare does get better. Okay? Because we're making the Chinese firms, the foreign firms, pay for some of this tariff. So we're basically taking away some welfare from them and taking it for ourselves, and that offsets the dead weight losses. Okay? Then if we impose too much high tariffs, well, that's going to reduce welfare.